Hey, YouTube. Wow, McJuggernuggets is fake. Who'da thunk it? I mean, I've been saying this for a while. I've done 6 videos specifically about that, not to mention several episodes of Potato Cast, a few face videos. But for those of you who don't know, let me just sort of walk you through what happened yesterday, at least my experience with it. When I woke up around 10:30 or so in the evening, I'm such a fucking I got to be connected at all times. I'm such a fucking smartphone addict that as soon as I wake up, like the first thing I do, like before I take a piss, before I grab a shower, before I have breakfast, even though it's 10:30 at night. Actually, I usually wait till I'm at work to grab a quick snack, but before I do anything, before I get out of the bed, I grab my phone and I check it. I check my email, and I mean, there's very good reasons for that because it could be work related stuff. I got to see if anything happened with Kazara Studios. I got to see if anybody texted me from my other job to say you're switched or whatever. Um, but I'm also looking at YouTube, watching a few YouTube videos, and I saw not one but two videos from Jesse Ridgway. And it's so funny because it's like one was called Psycho Kid Shoots Dad, which is like it's the logical progression of everything that he's done so far, yes. But at the same time, like, what an asshole to take it that far. I've been talking about, not only me, but a lot of other YouTubers have been talking about the things that Jesse has been not only portraying, but I guess condoning and just putting out there about violence, about revenge, about negative thoughts, and now it's he put murder there, and I was thinking like, when I saw the videos, and I was watching Psycho Kid Shoots Dad, and if you haven't watched it, it's filmed by, and I actually have a really interesting breakdown about this that I'm going to talk about on the next Potato Cast, but um, it's filmed by Jeffrey, and he goes down into the base. Well, no, he doesn't go. He goes into Jesse's room, and he sees there's nothing there, and he goes to his dad, who's sitting there playing fucking Bases Loaded 2 on an NES, and he's like, "Where's Jesse's stuff?" And he's like, "Oh, I put it in storage because he disrespected me." And it's like, okay, well, where is he? He's down, locked in the basement doing his videos, and I'm thinking, like, at that point, I'm like, he's not doing videos. He said he wasn't going to do anymore. He was down there with a camera, but he also had the gun. Yeah, you saw the flag sitting on the floor, and some YouTubers have pointed out that's what he asked Korn to get, and it's like, he buried it, and like I guess like Korn was the other person who knew where it was buried, and so he had the gun. Yeah, American cheese. Fuck you. What an asshole. So anyway, and by the way, I mean, I have not changed my opinion. I've watched both videos. I have not changed my opinion about Jesse. He's a fucking asshole, and I'm gonna explain why. I think I think the Ridgeways, they're just bad people. That they would put something like this on the internet, fake or not. That, like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like it's sickening to me. It's sickening to me. It's like people who put like child pornography up. That's the level of disgust that I have for Jesse's videos, because like it is like a, okay, maybe not child pornography, but like those people that put up like bad car crashes and shit like that, and like people getting hurt, and it's like, who the fuck wants to see that? And then you look at the views and you see there's a lot of people who want to see that, and I personally, I'm always like turned off by that kind of stuff. But I guess it is like the saying of like a bad crash that you can't, you're disgusted by it, you're horrified, but you can't help but look away. I've never really identified with that at all, but I guess I do with Jesse's videos because I always watch them, and sure, it was like watching it with a more critical eye, especially since I started doing the expose, but it does disgust me. Like, I've always felt like dirty watching his videos. That's why I made the other reference. But you know, um, So, he pulls the gun on Jeffrey, and then he goes up, he's like, I want my 30 grand, and it's like, it's not there, and he gives him the numbers to the safe, and it's funny because the numbers to the safe were written on the wall. You could see it in the video, but before the dad says it, he gives him the numbers, and then he shoots his dad because his dad says he never should have shown him video games because look what they turned you into. And that's his berserk button. The moment you say anything bad about video games, he turns into a fucking psychopath, like he did in what was that video called? Psycho Family Therapy, something like that, where the fake therapist said, oh, video games can cause aggression, and he like flipped out and like took his shirt off and started cursing and shit, and it's like you laugh at it at this, but at the same time you're like, what is wrong with this guy that he put something like that on the internet, like even if it is like completely fake, and claim that it's real. It's sickening. It's disgusting. It really is. And so he shoots his dad with the most fake looking gun ever. Plastic cap gun. You could see they used Adobe After Effects for a muzzle flash. It didn't even look like a muzzle flash because it looked like it came out of the camera lens. It was just pathetic. And then, and then Jeffrey's like, you have 5 minutes before I call the cops. He goes down, he opens the safe, he takes the money out, and it's like, of course, there was like almost no money left. There was like 2 bundles of bills in there, so maybe like $1,000 instead of 30,000. And he doesn't notice that it's not as heavy as it was. It's like all these things that I would be pointing out if I was doing the expose on this video, but well, I'll get to that in a second, because people have been asking me, am I going to continue doing it, or like, am I going to say like, why bother? So, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just distracted. I'm playing Civilization, but let me turn my monitor off. Now I'm less distracted. Okay, so, and then he drives away, and he gets in that one black like truck that had, or van or minivan or whatever the hell it is, that has been in every single like video that you see outside. You always see it parked in the same spot, and it never moves. The only time it ever moved was when they did the video where Uncle Larry crashed into the pool. They moved it out of the way so that he would have a clear shot at the pool. That's another thing that I would have pointed out. That black car never moved. So suddenly that's Jesse's car. It was probably his all along. The other one, the Juggies Mobile, was probably just like a cheap car that he got that he could, so his brother could paint it pink and all that, and it would be recognizable. And so, he kills his dad. He drives off. He starts screaming because the money's like mostly gone. And it's funny because his dad told him it was gone, and it's like, I don't believe you. How do I know? And it's like, that's the thing about like Psycho Dad as a character. Like every single thing he said was the truth. Like he never lied. Like if you look at all the videos, like everything he said was the truth. He never lied about anything. So it's kind of funny that he didn't believe him, which is funny because anyway, so then he did another video, and I mean I saw them back to back, but there were like 4 hours between the 2 videos. And I think the reason he put it up so soon, he really like if you wanted it to seem realistic, he should have waited a few days. But on the other hand, like I can only imagine how many people in those 4 hours between the 2 videos were calling the cops like, Jesse murdered his dad, and then of course they're not even there because they're in Los Angeles right now. All this shit was filmed weeks ago. All the videos in that tiny little room were probably filmed in a weekend, maybe even one day, but probably over a course of 2 days. And they were off in Switzerland having a fucking vacation and filming the last video, and Jesse's probably editing the last video. So the last video was Psycho Kid flees country, so somehow, even though he only had like a little bit of money, he runs off to Switzerland, and, even though he's a murderer, he somehow got out of the country, he somehow, the cops weren't waiting for him at the airport, and it's just like anybody that believes this is stupid. But An interesting thing happened when I was actually I'm getting ahead of myself. When I was watching the first video, I'm also doing this. I'm scrolling and I'm reading the comments, and everybody's saying that Jesse finally admitted it was fake. He said it was fake in his last video, and it was like not one or because I've had a few people come on my expose videos and they're like, "Of course it's fake. He said it's fake," and I'm like, "He never said it's fake." "Well, he used to say it's fake. He used to put it in the description." He never put it in the description. "Yes, he did." Like, okay, fuck you. But a lot of people, like enough people were saying it that I like. So he did like this music video montage and with Juliet's song and, you know, like all this footage that he couldn't possibly have gotten. Like, I'm sure, I mean, there are a lot of juggies who like at the very end when they show that scene where it was all revealed that it was all fake all along, that there were a lot of juggies who were like, "Oh my God." But, like, how could you have believed it? Like, there were so many shots he couldn't have gotten. Like, how could he, if he left the house after murdering his dad and he ran off to Switzerland, how could he have gotten footage of Uncle Larry sitting at the lounge in his neck brace? How could he have gotten, even in the Psycho Kid Shoots Dad video, as he's pulling away in his car, you can see a shot from the inside of Jeff's body. His body, and it's like, well, how would he get that footage, and who filmed it? Jeffrey. He took Jeffrey's camera away from him. You know, I mean, you could say that Jeffrey went downstairs in the little room, grabbed Jesse's camera, came up, and then filmed that, but why would he do that? He'd have been like calling the cops if it was real. There was so many inconsistencies. This series, like, it was good, but it was so bad at the same time. So he talks about how he's in Switzerland and he's happy and he's going to be staying there. And that's like another thing. Like, if you're on the run, you don't say where you ran to, you know, but, you know, it's fake. We know it. We knew it. I knew it. Many people knew it, but there were so many, like, I've been reading through the comments. There are so many juggies who are just upset. They're like, "I want my games back. I want the stuff I sent you back. I can't believe you lied to us." And I'm just sitting here like, I've been telling you guys. I've been telling you. And I'm not the only one. There have been so many people. Haggy Rants and the Acadies and Tuned Inside and TCB and Is It Real and so many other, even fucking Keemstar, have been saying for a long time that this shit is fake. And they're like, "No, it's not. It's real. You know, I believe it." Or, you know, sometimes they even got so delusional, "I know his family personally. It's real." And I'm like, oh my God. And I feel bad for these kids. A lot of them are like, "Well, if you're stupid enough to believe, you're fucking retard, you cunt, fuck, gay, fag, shit," you know. And I'm just like, don't be like that. You know, they're children. And, you know, like, these kids, I mean, I'm talking about kids, some of them are 9 years old. It's not too far after they fucking believed in Santa Claus, okay? And the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny and all that shit. Kids believe things because they're not fucking jaded. Adults look at things with a more critical eye because we've been lied to so many times and we've been through all this shit. And you know what? Like, I love their innocence. I love the fact that they could look at something like this and believe it. And that's why I fucking hate Jesse Ridgway so much, because he took advantage of that innocence and made money. Not only made money off of it, I'm not talking about fucking ad revenue. Who gives a shit about that? Let him do that. But the fucking gifts, man. All the shit he got in fan mail. And then he burned it all. And I saw a lot of comments from Juggies saying that they were pissed. Like, "You burned all the stuff we sent you. That shows how much we mean to you." Because they believed that Psycho Dad did it. Psycho Dad's to blame. And now that they know that it was all a series, they're like, oh my God, Jesse really was doing this the whole time. He was the mastermind behind it. It is fake. He burned our fucking fan mail. What an asshole. Just for a video. And think of all the other, like, horrible things he's done just for a fucking video. And I'm not talking about, like, the destruction and all that shit. I'm talking about the shit with, like, whether it was staged or not, like the shit with Tony's Treats, the shit with the farm. I've seen McCann's Farms videos, and I see the shit that they go through with the comments that they get, and it's like, come on now, like, you know, everybody that got sucked into this, you know, like Siobhan, Jeffrey's girlfriend Siobhan on Twitter. I mean, I looked at her Twitter, and because she came out and said that these videos were fake, because she was in one of them. She was in a couple of them, actually. She was in the Thanksgiving video, and she was in Obviously, psycho girlfriend breaks iPad, and then there was like one more where she poked her head out and yelled. But, and she said those videos are fake, and then you had these fucking people threatening to rape and kill her and all this horrible shit, and I'm like first of all, who says shit like that? Like really? Like would you say that to her face? Like really? You gonna say that over the internet? Like a fucking coward? Like whatever, man. So, at the end, he almost hung himself, and by the way, the video is age restricted because of that. I guess it got age restricted because he showed himself like almost committing suicide, although we knew he wouldn't. And it's like, and then he breaks down and he cries and he talks about how he's going to have to live with what he did and how he's such a bad person. And then he just leaves, and the camera kind of falls over, and you see like his mom and his dad who's alive, his brother, his Uncle Larry who doesn't have a neck brace on, and they're all like high-fiving each other and shit. And they're like, yeah, we're done, finally, that's a wrap, woo, yeah, and his dad hugs him and he's like, I love you, son, and I did it all for you, but I'm glad it's over. I've been saying this. I've been saying that, like Jeff probably loves Jesse because he's making all this money off of something that's like ridiculous, like fucking Psycho Dad videos, really, like ripping off like Angry Grandpa and ripping off Waffle Pone and all this shit, and he made a lot of money off of it. And now he's got a job at Red Sun Entertainment, and I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be a fucking failure, but more on that in another time. But anyway, people have been asking me, am I gonna continue the expose, or am I going to just like not do it anymore? And some people are like assuming that I'm gonna stop, and some people are like thinking that I would keep going or they want me to keep going because they enjoy the series. Somebody even said it would be a good idea to show how not to do a web series kind of thing, just point out all the inconsistencies and shit. And, that's all well and good, but I'm gonna leave it up to you guys, because the way I feel like, what's the fucking point now? Like, the point of it originally was to get Jesse to admit he was fake, and after a while I got really pissed off about the whole thing, and the point more became getting him to stop. We got that. We won. Even if it was on his terms, we won. He stopped. And he not only said that, he didn't say it was fake. He showed that it was fake. The whole family together. I mean, even the fucking divorce wasn't real. And out of all the things, that was like the one fucking thing that I thought might be real because, marriages end. Sometimes marriages end. It's an unfortunate thing. And maybe Jeff and Terry broke up for whatever reason. And he worked that into the script, because sometimes with reality shows, and that's really what it all was, all along a reality show, you work real life situations into it. So let me know what you think. Should I continue the expose series or should I not? Now, that being said, if I stop it, I'm not going to do another one. Like some people have asked me, like, who would you do next? Would you do like Angry Grandpa or whatever? And I'm like, no. I mean, Angry Grandpa is like completely different because like they've already admitted it's fake, really. And well, they didn't say fake, but they admitted that they play things up for the camera and that it's all kind of planned ahead. And it's like, like the people who do Angry Grandpa, like I think they're kind of shitty people too, but they're not, taking advantage of kids. They stopped their fan mail long ago. And I don't know. The reason I did it was because I was specifically really offended by McJuggernuggets, and it's done. It's over. So give me your thoughts. Let me know what you thought of the finale, the final 2 videos of the Psycho series. Let me know what you think of like this whole thing with Red Sun Entertainment. Is he going to be successful or is it going to be a huge failure? Because I read the press release and let me tell you, it sounds lame, like hardcore lame. And do you think that there's merit in me continuing the expose, or why bother? Personally, I think that, like, why bother? Like, I could do it for views, but you guys know me. I've never fucking cared about views. I've cared about making good content. And I always felt that if you make good content, the views will come. And I think that the Expose series was good. And I did get views. A lot more than I thought I would. But I don't want to continue it just to continue it. I only want to continue it if you guys really can come up with a reason why I should. So let me know in the comments. Yeah, this is like nearly 3 gigs, so I gotta stop. See you guys soon with more content.